Friday night's sports show, and Ellis Gellius, I just know how much you love your world of football, but Speedway's a new thing for you, isn't it?
It is, but I'm more and more educated every time we speak to Big Brucey. He could talk all day about the Speedway, and don't we love it?
I'll tell you what, he'll talk all day and he'll jump in as quickly as he can. G'day, Big Brucey, how are you?
G'day there, boys. Nice to be back, and gee, doesn't a week go fast as we start to turn the corner and head towards the later part and the end of Speedway season with some big meetings coming up. Of course, pretty much rounds out the season with the big Easter trail down there at Warrnambool. But look, let's have a look at last week's results first, Wayne.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was a big time over at the Premier Speedway in Warrnambool. They had a huge crowd there, and Southwest Victoria gets really going. And Jamie Veal, he got going at the Speedway and he cleaned them up.
Oh, look, he is the real deal, and on his home track down there, he was just too good, and he got the chocolates in front of Darren Molyneux and Grant Anderson. Look, I think if you play the tape back last week, I told Jason that it would be Jamie Veal number 1 and Grant Anderson number 3. I got 2 out of the 3. We won't say the second one because we didn't get that right, but look, we got 2 out of 3. That ain't bad, they say.
They do, and I'd say that you did well, and Jason's not here tonight to defend himself, so we won't even bother with the tape. You're right again, Brucey, but has there any more from Warrnambool that we need to catch up on before we head to Archerfield in Brisbane?
They just had the late model feature, which was won by Chevy Edwards, so a good win there to Chevy, but yes, the night was dominated by the win from Jamie Veal.
Let's head to Archerfield in Brisbane, Bruce. And that Lockie McHugh's one of the premier Speedway drivers in the country, and at Archerfield he took off and they couldn't catch him.
Oh, look, just an outstanding season from Lachlan McHugh, and in the NQ7, and look, this is his 14th feature win this season, and look, it'd be fair to say, we've said it before, he has got this sprint car on rails and just absolutely dominating up there. He's been down south and got a feature win down here a few weeks ago. Look, he proved he can do it, and look, he really did dominate in that class last week. It's his 15th win. I'm just getting the gong here. So his 15th win, that's just an outstanding performance. So Cody Morosky in second, Luke Oldfield in third, and look, it was just it's just the story of the town, isn't it? Everywhere, Lachlan McHugh just dominating in sprint cars at the moment.
He is now. Ellis, have you ever been to Western Australia?
I haven't, and it's funny that I haven't because I'm a mad West Coast Eagles fan, but
yes.
I can't wait to get out there one day.
One of the best places to go is down on the south coast. It's called Bunbury. Now, Brucey, you tell me about Bunbury for Ellis's benefit because you love it down that part of the west.
Yes, been down there a few times and been to the Bunbury Speedway, and look, a great little spot and really nice viewing too. It's a track that you just the grandstand's just really up and close to the track, and you just really feel the roar of the sprint cars, and it just rumbles right through your body. They've got these, last time we were there, these sort of aluminium type seats. And I tell you what, it just feels like it goes right through the ground and right through your body, and you just feel such a part of it, like you're sitting in the back seat. But look, it's just a great little venue, and last weekend they had 2 features. They were spoiled. And it was Brad Maiola that got the job done in the first of the twin features, and a good win for him, followed by Dane Kingshot, who's had a great season first season in the sprint car after changing over from the speed car. Callum Williamson in third, and look, some great news coming through during the week on Callum Williamson, who has just won a contract with the Monty Motorsport team out of Western Australia. Of course, normally driven by the W17 and James McFadden, but because of the return to the States, they've got a new driver. It's Callum Williamson, and why not? He cleaned up in feature number 2, and he done that pretty easily. And David Priolo and Brad Maiola in a good double, first and third.
Brucey, heading out to the island of Tasmania that doesn't have many of its own sporting institutions. Tell us what happened out there.
Well, they don't have a big audience as far as drivers for sprint cars, and look, they managed to get somewhere between 12 and 16 each week, and last week they had a reasonable crowd of about 16 sprint cars. But it was Mark House who got the job done, and I think we predicted this again, that last Friday night, Saturday morning on the sports show, and Mark House, just a sensational season. He's been around the mark, and this time getting the podium victory lane. Jamie Bricknell, who's also had a couple this season in second, and Kurt Luttrell, who we've spoken about before. These three really dominating in Tasmanian Speedway currently, and a good win there by Mark House.
Oh, yes. Put your house on him to get home at Launceston, at Latrobe, and Bruce at Mildura, our friends across the Mallee at Sea Lake and Oyen, and they love to get up to Timmers Speedway. The 360 All-Star Series was on, and Chris Solomon was the All-Star.
He certainly was, and look, he's had a few victories in the mainline Dynalog Dynamometers series. And I'll say that for you, Flo, man.
Yes.
You struggle with that one. And the 360 All-Star Series, it was round 4 over there at Timmers Speedway. Great little venue again, and he was just too good. He got the chocolates, followed by Rusty Hickman. A little bit of a surprise. We did tip Hickman, so we did get that one wrong last week. Mark Caruso from South Australia and Steve Caruso, his brother, in 3rd and 4th. So a pretty good job done there by the South Aussies in that over on the Victorian track there at Mildura in the 360 event. Up to do pretty well there for South Australia were Jarman Dallitz. He was a little bit down the order, but a good finish by him. And, of course, Dan Evans driving the VA9 came in 8th spot. So a good performance by our South Aussies over there on the Victorian track.
All right, now, Elias, you've heard about the wingless speedway. Now, this is a bit of an education for you because the sprint cars have got these fins on the top of them, haven't they, Brucey? They're big wings, but this is the sprint car with no wing on it. Tell us about it, Brucey, at Murray Bridge.
Well, it was the massive 60-lapper. Now, look, I reckon 60 laps around any speedway would just about, you'd hop out, and I reckon you'd just about
dizzy.
Walk, your arms would be dropping off. Such would be the shaking and the bouncing. But look, these guys, even in the wingless, they're even probably not as equipped as the sprint cars are with the wings, but, so the rugged roughness would be probably worse. And in this one, it was Joel Chadwick who won the 60-lapper in fine style. He's just an absolute gun, this bloke. You'd love to see him in a car with a wing on it. Maybe he doesn't want to put a wing on it. But look, a great performance by Joel. Of course, a Aussie champion, and he got the job done from Luke Wheel, the Victorian, from Mark Blyton. So a pretty good performance in that big 60-lapper by Joel Chadwick, who just keeps Chadwicking along.
He does. I thought you were going to a Beyonce song there, Bruce, about putting a wing on it. But anyway, a bit of a ring going around at the Speedway right now. It is a circular motion, Bruce, and this weekend it continues at a little town in the Otway Ranges of Victoria. And Ellis, I've actually been to this town, and I've said this on air before, but when you go to get a pie at the local supermarket in Simpson, the little bakery supermarket, the tractors pull up on the main street from the local farmers, and they get out to get their pie also.
Quite fantastic. You're a well-travelled man.
Certainly am, but at Simpson they're well-travelled because in the Otways they've got their 360, the Vic title. Oh,
the Vic title should be an absolute beauty, and some class drivers in this. Some of these drivers do run the 410. So as we've said before on the program, the 410 is the 410 cubic inch, and the 360 is the 360 cubic inch. So the difference is in the piston size, where they bore them out a bit more. And look, in this one here, there's some great nominations. Guys like Tim Van Gitteken and Scott Endell and Rusty Hickman. These guys have all run 410s. Grant Anderson. So, look, there wouldn't be a lot of difference. I guess noticeable would be the speed factor. But even probably the handling would be a little bit different with the less speed. But look, you'd hardly know the speed in this when they get around. So there's a really good field in this one at Simpson. Great little spot. It's only about 30 to 40 minutes from Warrnambool. And look, this will draw a big crowd, I'd reckon, over there at Victoria for this event. And picking a winner, Wayne, I'll probably go with Grant Anderson. I just think he's on the money. He's had a good season and coming off a third place last weekend.
Back in the bridge this Saturday night, as Simpson will be running in Victoria on Saturday night. At the same time at Murray Bridge, Ross Wright Memorial, the sprint car show. It's going to be a big one.
Oh, look, the Ross Wright Memorial always is a ripper. And look, it's got 18 cars nominated. That's probably something we didn't cover on the Simpson. There's 29 nominations there, so a great field for 360s. The Ross Wright Memorial, look, there's always a tear in the eye with this one, and look, it's just one of those races that remembers an absolute champion of Speedway in across Australia and South Australia, and in Ross Wright, he was just an absolute gun. And look, this has got a very good field, some guns in this field. When you look at the likes of Matt Eagle, Steve Caruso, Daniel Pesca, Brock Hallett nominated. So look, some real guns. Brad Keller out of Tintinara. So some real champions. Ryan Jones, he'll be obviously looking to get the job done in the Murray Machining and Sheds, the Wright-owned vehicle. So he'll be really trying to get the job done for Ross Wright and the Wright family, who do so much for Ryan Jones and his S63. So picking a winner, look, I reckon Ryan Jones will be up there. It should be a great night at Murray Bridge. I'll probably go for Matt Eagle to get the chocolates from Ryan Jones and Daniel Pesca with Brock Hallett, a Smoky, to maybe cause an upset. Should be a big night at Murray Bridge.
All right, will be. And Brucey, I know that you and Lockie are looking forward to the following week where you're going to traverse the border, and Mr. Daniel Andrews, will he let you in, and will you get back out when you go to Warrnambool on March 13?
Well, we are. We're heading over there next weekend to Warrnambool. Should be a big event over there. Currently on the list about 25 to 30 nominations. So it should be a big night there at Premier Speedway. It's the SRA Victorian Open Sprint Car title. So it should be a big night over there. Looking forward to it. Yes, we got a pass to get over, and more importantly, a pass to get back. So not keen on being a Victorian just yet. So looking forward to that, and great to be able to bring these Speedway reports to you each week.
Oh, yes.
Forward to it again next week, Wayne.
Yeah, thanks, Brucey. And that is a look at what's happening across the speedways. The petrol heads, the rev heads are loving it in our broadcast areas, and we'll have more on that with Brucey next time round.